Welcome to FM Corner. I'm Danny Koontz. I'm the Director of Relationship Management for Windy City Equipment. And today's topic is the value of a handyman. Everybody has somebody to do your electrical work, somebody to do your plumbing work, somebody to do landscaping, HVAC, your equipment, and so on. But the question always comes up, should you have a handyman? And if you do, what kind of person makes that up? Or is it a company you go to? Or how do you do it? Or do we handle it ourselves at the restaurant level, and use one of our own guys who wants to make money on the side? Many different ways you can look at it. But a good handyman service provides you opportunities to do small scale work that big companies either don't want to do, aren't good at, or charge you way too much. So when searching for a handyman, what are your options? You can go to a small company that performs in handyman services. Lots of times they do residential and they also do commercial. You can pick someone like that. Or you can pick a larger company that just does commercial handyman services and define the list. Where you have to be extremely careful in this is restaurant operations don't necessarily know what a handyman does versus a service guy. And if you're not careful, they're going to have your handyman guy in there fixing your fryers, working on the air conditioner, and they may make some mistakes while their effort is good and they're trying to help you, but they could make some mistakes because that's not their forte. And what that may do is cost you more money down the road, or if you have a service contract with a particular company and somebody else tampers or messes with the equipment, that could cause you some issues as well. So you have to be very careful is defining what a handyman does. Another way you can look at that is you set a budget to it. So in other words, especially if you were a chain, your restaurant gets $300 per month worth of handyman services. And what that means is his labor rate is $50 an hour. So technically you would get 6 hours of his time to help you fix your problems. But then you have to calculate in, are there going to be any materials related to it? So I only maybe get him for 4 hours and then I have to pay for the materials. But my basis is $300. So he will come and fix items up until the point that I get to the $300 mark. And when that happens, one of two things. He either stops and he comes back the next month and completes some of the other items on the list, which, if it's touch-up paint needed in the corner, maybe that's fine. It's not a big deal. Or you ask for an extension, maybe more money to be given you this month so you can complete some, and maybe they take that money away another month down the road. But it's an opportunity to control the budget with the handyman on what he's allowed to do. And you make a list. He shows up on whatever day of the month it is, and he starts working off that list based in the order in which you've given it to him until the amount of the budget is exceeded, and then he must stop. And you obviously want to stop him before he starts a project because you don't want him halfway in and him running out of money. You have to kind of help him manage that as he goes through. Another item many people tried to do is go to your restaurants and get some of your team members' parents or an uncle or someone like that who may be retired or whatever and is only wanting to do some work part-time. On the surface, that sounds like a great idea and a great system. But if that person has no insurance or anything like that, and he comes to your location and you ask him to climb on something and look at it, and he does, and he gets hurt, that can cost you a lot of money. So while in theory it sounds really good, it's not actually the best way to go, because one accident from any handyman without insurance will cost you far more than what you would spend with a service or people. So my suggestions are develop a budget and an amount of money each month. If you contact a handyman service, give them a not to exceed, just like you would on some of your equipment, and have them come out and do work, and have the restaurant responsible for setting up a budget. If you're going to bill them anyway, they need to have a list and you don't let them use it as a money saver if I have no issues. We've all been to restaurants. We've all seen things that need to be done. There's plenty of work in there that can be done by a handyman service. So I wouldn't take away, if you don't use them, we won't charge you, because there's tons of stuff to be done. Don't let it be used as a money-saving opportunity. Then have your handyman come and work off this list. You can lower the number. You can make it really small to keep track of it any way you want to do it. But use a service, use someone that has insurance from the company so that you're covered, and then develop a list. The other thing people try to do sometimes is, I'm going to use somebody on my staff. Well, what happens is that person will make mistakes because they don't know what to do. They don't do it right. How are you paying them? You're paying them off the clock. Is that right or not? Some people add hours to their shift and let them do it that way. Again, you're really just better off. Have your employees do the job that they're hired for, and then use a handyman service to come in and do the small top items that need to be done inside your restaurant. That's all for today on tips of using a handyman service. I'm Danny Koontz. This has been FM Corner. I'll see you next time.